Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Detroit gets set to go on offense, and it will be the 7th-year pro out of Cal, Jared Goff, leading the attack in his 2nd season as a Lion.
This week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that. And right away, he lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
Get a look at this Seahawk offense as they come out there. And the quarterback brought in as part of that big offseason trade. Now in his 4th NFL season, Drew Lock. Following the fumble recovery, it's Lock. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Carson will score. Touchdown, Seattle. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. There's Goff. Flush to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. Now it's Lockett. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. 3.5 to go, first quarter. Lock now on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9. Second
As the receivers don't spread the defense out, they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Lions nothing. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. To throw is Goff. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Now Goff. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Returnable for Lockett. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. on second down. It's Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Here's Locke. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Freddie Swain, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
21-0, our score after 1. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25.
2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. They haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff.
That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run here with Swift. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs.
Now a hit and a loose football. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Here's Goff. Caught on the slant. Touchdown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown
From 10 yards out.
And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense.
First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And and then they presented it to the rest of the team. And I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete. The Seahawks at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On second down now, it's Carson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun, it's Locke. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down. Locke to throw for it on fourth. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Now Myers for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the 44, Goff. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little...
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play, with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like...
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get this out to the 40-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
On third down, here comes Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Here's Jack Fox on to punt.
Fox in punt formation for the Lions.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Browns who have the lead late in the first half. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head up to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Bills in that ball game at halftime. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. C.D. Lamb, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more? Here in the second half, it has not been a competitive game to this point. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Seahawks with a 1st and 10. Locke gets ready to go at their own 24. He gives it off to Carson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They fake the handoff, now Locke. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Aiden Hutchinson in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing now is Locke. And that's going to be caught. Dwayne Eskridge. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Locke going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On second down, it's Carson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He lets it fly from Lockett, and he's got it inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson, give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have to happen.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things.
They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Seahawks will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure you have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lock. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, All coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On 2nd and 9, Goff Funches with a catch over the middle. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
3rd and 2, Goff. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good. For the Lions, first down. 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 7, Goff. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. For Drew Lock coming out of Missouri, the one thing that scouts they loved was his arm strength, and we see why there.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football, and this is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Lock to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Freddie Swain. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you win.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile we do have an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a short kick taken at about the 16. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen
And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle
touchdown. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Now Myers for the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd and 10, Goff, and it's complete to Mitchell. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
That's good for the Lions.
Throwing again is Goff.
And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Lions 7. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, in the 4th quarter here, you've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Goff. And that'll be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Goff. And that will be incomplete as well. Here comes the Lions punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. That's pulled in at the 32. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
first down. It's Carson.
He's got it to the 43 here.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Block off of play action. He's got it at the 15.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Locke. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Goff's throw taken in by Chark.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
And taken right at the 35. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Locke. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Now that's a tough throw because he's moving to his left. He's got to get his shoulders pointed back right to throw it all the way across field to try and connect. Unable to do so.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Time for another look at this Lions offense.
They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now Goff on first down. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. One last throw here for Goff. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Seahawks, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get it up.